Raccoons. We all know how cute and cuddly they can appear. But the bottom line is raccoons are wild animals and should be treated with caution and respect. Found everywhere in Ohio, raccoons have adapted well to city and suburban life and can be found anywhere there is food, water, and shelter. In Ohio, the raccoon population is on the rise, and when populations increase, so do the chances for disease. In this case, rabies.
Rabies is a virus, and it's contained within a lot of different types of carnivorous mammals. Some of the primary species are raccoons, and also we have some concern about foxes, coyotes, and skunks. We've also had an occasional positive with a possum or groundhog. The virus is spread by a bite. It can also be in the saliva, but the primary transmission is biting.
Over 1,100 raccoons were tested for rabies in 2009. Only one raccoon tested positive. That good news is the result of an ongoing program administered by the Ohio Department of Health.
Rabies is a public health concern because if left untreated, it's fatal in humans. So it's very, very important to keep rabies under control. We're fortunate in the United States that we've got some good vaccination programs, and people pretty much take care of their pets and have them vaccinated because they're the first line of defense from the rabies virus between wild animals and humans. It's a very interesting story how we first found out that we had raccoon strain rabies in Lake County in July of 2004. A family was having a picnic in a rural community, and there were a bunch of small children in that family, and they couldn't really open the doors by themselves. So some doors were left propped open between a garage and kitchen, and when no one was looking, this very sickly raccoon kind of ambled through the garage and into the people's kitchen, where it picked a fight with a geriatric Cocker Spaniel who lived in the house. And once somebody heard the commotion, the family went in there, and somebody grabbed the dog and somebody grabbed the raccoon, and had at least enough sense to immobilize the raccoon so it couldn't run away. And we were able to obtain that animal for testing, and that was our first rabies-positive raccoon.
Meet Josh Hoblet. His job as a wildlife biologist for the United States Department of Agriculture takes him out to where the raccoons are plentiful. Out in the field, they have targeted and placed live traps in hopes of catching the raccoon.
Yeah, it's quite an undertaking. There's a lot of raccoons in the area, but when we respond to positives in the area, this is the trap, vaccinate, and release is to supplement the ORV operations that are going on as well. There was a high concentration of positives in Lake County, and what we're trying to do is go in and catch as many animals as possible. And so we're taking a systematic approach, and we're trying to catch what we estimate to be 65% of the raccoon population, and that is roughly 20 raccoons per square kilometer. And so we send trappers in. We get permission to go on people's property and place these traps for 3 to 5 days, and we trap until we reach 20 raccoons per square kilometer, which is 65% of the estimated population.
Catching one seems to be the easy part. Once in the live trap, the raccoon must be tagged and a rabies vaccination is given.
We inspect the overall health of the animal, check its condition, see if there are any obvious wounds. If the raccoon does appear healthy, we'll go ahead and place ear tags in its ears, that unique ID number, so we know where we caught the animal, and if we catch it again, we know how far it's moved, what day we caught it on, and then also we vaccinate the animal then. Then it's released on the site where we captured it.
No worse for the wear, and now vaccinated against rabies. This little raccoon heads on his way. It would certainly be impossible to provide shots for all species of known carriers, and yet it's important to reach those animals who have not been captured and vaccinated in the live traps. This is where the ORV, or Oral Rabies Vaccination Program, comes into play.
The ORV baiting program involves putting an oral vaccine out into the woods and other raccoon-type habitat.
The ORV is a small biscuit made of ground fish meal. Inside the biscuit is the vaccination itself. Once ingested, the vaccination is stored in the animal's immune system, allowing it defense against an infectious bite.
We know that this oral baiting program works because it's been used successfully in other parts of the world and many different locations in the United States and Canada as well.
With thousands of acres and thousands of animals, it's a daunting task, to say the least. What Josh and his crew can't cover on the ground, the Division of Wildlife can cover by air. This morning, pilot Joe Barber and wildlife employee Jeff Westerfield load the helicopter with supplies for the mission. Flying over targeted areas, Jeff begins the distribution of the ORV packets. The helicopter makes life easier for the USDA by getting the vaccine spread in some tough areas that would otherwise be inaccessible to the ground crew. Diligence has paid off in Ohio. The rate of rabies in targeted animals like the raccoon and skunk has steadily declined since the program's inception. For more information on rabies and prevention, make sure to visit wildohio.com.